Oh my God. I really never should have agreed. I never should have decided to go back to body bags. I don't know why, man. It's like they're going to want me to review movies. I got no movies to review. Where am I going to get movies to review? Hello, everyone. Welcome to Body Bags. I'll be your reviewer for today. I'm Lonnie from Horror Heaven77. And I found this one here that I actually think is pretty good, and I wanted to talk to you guys about it. I've been adding a lot of British horror movies and TV series and everything to my movie collection here, which, I highly recommend. I mean, sure, yeah, there's definitely a lot of good Italian and French, horror movies and stuff, but, the British are doing some really good stuff too, you know, and like New Zealand, they're doing great stuff too. Like last week when I reviewed Housebound, that's from New Zealand. That movie's fantastic. The movie I want to talk about today is it's called S.O.S. Save Our Skins. Now, I realize there is one thing I will make a complaint about this movie, though, is that the cover is definitely going to be one of these covers that's really misleading, because if you look at the cover, it looks scary, it looks frightening, it looks ominous, and but when you watch this movie, it really is more of a horror sci-fi comedy. Oh, by the way, yeah, I do it. I do. I love British TV and film. From the BBC, obviously. So anyway, the story actually has almost kind of a Shaun of the Dead kind of a feel to it, I feel at least. Kind of like a little bit of Shaun of the Dead mixed with I Am Legend. The story, well, actually, the tagline is right here. What if the last men on Earth were idiots? So anyway, so the story concerns Ben and Stephen. Now, they're two British blokes who come to America. They come to New York. They want to go to a comic book, sci-fi convention. And one morning they wake up and all of a sudden everybody is gone. The entire population of the world just seems to have disappeared. And they're very confused at first. And Stephen, you could definitely tell there's very much of a Laurel and Hardy, Abbott and Costello, kind of a vibe with these two guys. There definitely feels like a throwback to classic comedy in this movie. Definitely a buddy comedy feel. Now you got Ben and Steven, they're looking around, they're trying to figure out what's going on. Steven is kind of a little bit more of the straight man. He's trying to find answers, trying to figure out what's going on, while Ben is just kind of, Ben is definitely not the sharpest knife in the drawer. He makes a lot of, silly observations, and he's just always like he's always stuffing his mouth, like he's constantly snacking. The guy can't stop eating. It seems like he's always eating, or he's always drinking something. And so they're trying to figure out what's going on, and just they can't figure out what the answers are. And so they're looking around New York, they can't find anybody, everybody's gone. And so they finally come to the realization, like, hey, you know what, we don't see zombies, vampires, I don't know. They entertain the idea of aliens, possibly, which actually that does, I'm not spoiling too much, but that actually does kind of end up being the case, is that the world has basically been invaded by aliens. So they're trying to find out what's going on. And, they decide, hey, we got the run of New York City. So they're running around, Ben's eating all this food. They decide, hey, well, we could go to a store, it's chilly. So we could go to a store, we can, get a coat, and, like a couple of coats aren't going to hurt anything, which of course means they go and get all pimped out. They got, big fancy coats on, carrying canes. They look like pimps, basically. So they get back to their hotel, and Steven decides he wants to send a message, basically like upload to YouTube a message, kind of an SOS, save our skins. And so he uploads the message, and so they're getting ready to leave. They figure they're going to maybe try to make a break for the airport, see if maybe they can find somebody there. And so they start to pack, and Steven is like, I'm going to go ahead and check some of the rooms, And so Ben is like, okay. So Steven goes out, and he sees this creature in the hallway, and there it is right there. It's one of the alien creatures right there. So the creature basically, it kind of, in my opinion, it kind of looks like kind of a mix of like the Hulk with Thing from Fantastic Four. It kind of looks like a mixture of that, but blue. And so at first, Steven thinks that this creature is basically just, somebody wearing a costume for the sci-fi comic convention, but the monster turns around and starts chasing him. And so there, he goes, he finds Ben. The two of them are, barely are able to escape. And so they're running around New York. They're trying to get to the airport. So, on their way there, they stop, they kind of end up meeting some pretty interesting people. Like, for instance, they stop to use the bathroom and they're looking around a grocery store. And so Steven decides, it probably would be a great idea for us to get supplies, get some food, get some water, first aid kit, things that we need. And so they're loading up. Well, they hear somebody come in the store. And so they go and see that there's this guy, he's this old man, very old man. And he's just, like looking through the meat section. And he's, just kind of like, looks like he's just doing his shopping. And so Ben and Steven, they go up and they introduce themselves to him. And he says, I'll make you guys a good cup of coffee. Come on back. You guys look like you could use a good cup of coffee. So he takes them to his place and he makes coffee and he sets them down. And he puts down this plate of cookies that looks really, really odd. Of course, Ben, he's about ready. So he takes a bite out when he notices something's really off about the cookie. And when he takes a closer look at it, he notices that there's a human ear baked into the cookie. And so he's all like, I think I'm going to go use the bathroom real quick. So he goes to the bathroom. Meanwhile, Steven is drinking the coffee and he's starting to get woozy and basically, the coffee's drugged and, he's about ready to pass out. So Ben goes into the bathroom and he finds, the bathroom is basically being used as a slaughterhouse. There's like butcher bodies and blood and gore and body parts everywhere. So he goes in, he's like, yeah, I found the bathroom. And so, yeah, and yeah, I don't think you should eat the cookies and all that stuff. And the guy's like, they're ear cookies, So he holds up a knife. He's like, and I'm ready to make a new batch. And so he's, going to try to attack Steven and Ben. I'm not going to tell you how they get out of that situation. I really, I'm giving away more of the movie than I should be, to be honest with you. But anyway, they manage to get away. They get back to the store that they were at, and they're kind of, they're just hunkering down while Steven is waiting for the drugs in the coffee to pass through his system so he could wake up again. Finally, he does. And, Ben, it turns out, is, watching videos on his laptop. And in kind of a classic comedy movie, he finally reveals that they got a message to their S.O.S that they sent out, and these two guys, Jack and Dwayne, send them a message, and they're kind of almost like, it's kind of funny because they're almost kind of like polar opposites of each other, and so they're telling them, but the funny part is like they're Jack and Dwayne are making these sci-fi references and things like that. And the thing is like, Steven and Ben, they come to America. Their whole point was they wanted to go to this sci-fi convention. So they're sitting there, they're putting down, Dwayne and Jack for being, dorks and stuff like that. But he tells, but they send them a message, say, hey, if you guys can get to Canada, come on down here to Canada. We got, we guys can help you with, information and stuff like that. So they decide to, get a car. So they're driving to Canada. On their way there, they stop at a gas station to get gas, and Ben goes in to use the bathroom, and he's attacked by this feral woman. This woman who obviously, she's been through a lot of trauma, a lot of psychological damage, and she's got blood on her face, and she's frothing. As a matter of fact, that's pretty much her there, like that, and she's trying to attack him and kill him and stuff, and so. At one point they're able to, subdue her, and, Steven is, of the opinion we should just leave her here. This is not a good idea, taking her with us and stuff, just leave her here. She's going to try to kill us. And the only word she can say is kill. But the problem is that Ben wants to take her with them because, Ben's, he's a sci-fi nerd and stuff like that. And as far as he's concerned, this is his best chance at ever getting a girlfriend. So he just wants to have her just so he can say she's his girlfriend. So they end up taking her with them. And so, they're getting, so they get to Canada, and then they meet up with Jack and Dwayne. And then the rest of it is just them trying to decide how they're going to, they realize that there's a point that they can go to that's a lighthouse, kind of almost like a Close Encounters of the Third Kind of feel to it. You know, if they get to this lighthouse, that, you know, they can find the answers that they need about, you know, the alien invasion, how to stop it, if they can stop it, things like that. And so, you know, they decide that they're going to team together, even though, you know, the four of them just keep kind of like, throwing insults at each other and stuff like that, calling each other dorks and geeks and stuff like that. And so, but they have to band together with this woman, this feral woman kill, and they got to try to get to this lighthouse so they can, you know, try to stop the whole zombie invasion apocalypse from happening. And it's a, you know, my describing is a little disjointed, I will admit, but like I said, the whole point is I really don't want to try to give away too much of the movie. I want to leave some mystery to it. But this movie really is a lot of fun. It definitely, it's if you like stuff like, you know, if you like those old comedies, if you like those old comedy duos like, you know, Laurel and Hardy, Martin and Lewis, you know, Abbott and Costello, things like that. If you like British comedies, you know, especially stuff, like I said, this definitely feels like it has kind of almost like a Shaun of the Dead vibe to it, at least in my opinion it does. If you like British horror sci-fi comedies, you're going to love this. So I would definitely recommend checking this movie out. It's a lot of fun. There are some gory bits in it. Not a lot. You know, this isn't like a, you know, blood-drenched gore fest or anything like that, but you know, I enjoy it. I think I had, you know, I really had a good time with it. The characters are fun and likable, even though they are idiots. You know, and the thing is, though, is I would say that's kind of the one thing too that's kind of interesting. There is kind of this conflict going on in the story because you got like Steven, like I said, he's kind of more of the straight man. His whole thing is he wants to help, you know, find out what's going on and how to stop it, how to make everything better. Whereas Ben, he's just perfectly happy just, you know, having the whole world to himself. Well, now he's got this quote unquote girlfriend with him. So he just wants to basically just, you know, find the best house, you know, eat food and spend time with his, you know, his new lady friend. And he's, as far as he's concerned, that's all he wants to do. So, but, yeah, I mean, this movie really is. It's a lot of fun. Chris Hayward and Nat Saunders are the stars of the movie. They play Ben and Steven, but they're also the writers of the film. But yeah, I definitely recommend if you could come across this on Amazon Prime or, you know, you pick up the DVD. I picked this up for just a couple of bucks, and I highly recommend it. If you like a good horror sci-fi comedy, I definitely say, you know, this is a lot of fun and give it a shot, you know, and yeah, you know, it's a great British film, even though it's, you know, pretty much is shot in Toronto, and, you know, you do get shots of New York City, but, I highly recommend it. Definitely check it out. It's a lot of fun. It's, I'm going to be honest, you know, it's like there are some gory bits, but if you're, you know, a total gore hound, this isn't going to be for you, but still. Anyway, that's pretty much about all I can say about it. So if anybody took the time to watch this, I thank you for doing it. I appreciate you for doing it. I honestly hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like. If you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to the Body Bags channel. There's a different reviewer for every day of the week. I'm the Friday reviewer. We have, you know, different guys. They're all doing great stuff. And yeah, so I guess I'll go ahead and see you guys next week. Oh, by the way, could you guys do me a favor? If any of you don't have any movies that you're watching, could you, you know, maybe like donate some of them to me? Because I really honestly do not know where I'm going to get movies to review for this channel. I don't know. I mean, you know, I was so excited to come back to the channel that I didn't realize I really got nothing to watch. I got nothing to review. So if anybody could help out and donate, I would greatly appreciate it. So until next week, thank you all for watching. I'll see you later. Have a good night. Bye-bye.